If you think your child is too young to be targeted by an online predator, please keep watching, because that's exactly what predators are relying on. They want you to believe that your child is safe because of their age, because they don't have social media yet, because they're only in elementary school. But the truth is, I've seen it happen far earlier than most parents are prepared for. Hi, I'm Alicia Kozak. I was the first child abducted by an internet predator, and for over 20 years, I've made it my mission to protect families from the evolving dangers online. From speaking in schools to educating the public through the media, from working in law enforcement to shaping critical legislation, I've dedicated my life to making the digital world safer. I speak in schools all across the country, grades 5 through 12, and now I'm starting to speak to even younger kids. Why? Because online predators aren't waiting. They're already there, quietly, patiently watching and looking for kids who are bored, curious, lonely, or just looking for someone who understands them. I once spoke in a school where a fourth grader, a 9-year-old, had already been tricked and groomed online. She was playing on her mom's phone, just passing time with a game, and somehow she came across a predator who was hiding there and he was waiting. Within minutes, this man had convinced her to take an inappropriate photo of herself, and then he threatened to kill her mom if she didn't send more. Thankfully, she went straight to her mom and told her what happened. But let's be honest, many kids would not do that. They would freeze and they feel ashamed. They think it's their fault. And that's exactly what predators are exploiting. That little girl, she didn't know what to watch out for. She didn't know what grooming was. She didn't even know what she was doing could hurt her. And that's the truth about young kids. It's easy to trick them if they've never been taught what danger looks like. I understand you wanting to protect their innocence and their worldview. I do. But being aware of danger doesn't take away their innocence. It gives them power. It gives them a chance to get help, a chance to say no, a chance to tell you before it goes any further. That conversation, it might feel really uncomfortable, but it's one that you have to have. Predators depend on the idea that you think your child seems safe because they're only playing educational games or because you're sitting right there in that room with them. They take advantage of the small moments when we just simply stop paying attention. When your child gets quiet or spends a little too long on one screen, they exploit that silence. They thrive when we assume it can't happen to us. And when we let our guard down, that's when they move in. Parents often hesitate to talk to young children about predators, and I get it. No one wants to scare their child. We worry that they're too little to understand. But here's what I always say. We teach kids not to touch hot stoves. We tell them not to run into the street. We tell them not to put forks in outlets. We talk about those dangers without any hesitation. But when it comes to predators, for some reason, we shut down. And unfortunately, predators take full advantage of that silence. They know that if you're too afraid to bring it up, then they'll be the ones to start the conversation instead. So in this video, I want to walk you through what grooming really looks like, including 7 signs that a child, even a young child, may experience, plus the tools you can use to help prevent it. Grooming doesn't usually start with something that looks scary. It often starts with kindness, compliments, a new friend, a game invite, and it almost always begins with secrecy. And grooming is usually a gradual process. It's not about snatching a child away in the night. It's about pulling them into a relationship that feels safe at first. It might look like little inside jokes, shared secrets, promises of gifts, or exaggerated praise. It's all designed to create a sense of trust and dependency. And once that bond is built, the predator starts testing limits. It's really strategic, it's intentional, and it's manipulative. And because it doesn't always look bad in the beginning, it's easy for kids and their parents to miss. And it often begins with a simple connection. Someone reaching out to your child in a game or in an app. Maybe they seem helpful, fun, or understanding. They remember your child's name. They comment on their avatar. They offer to play a game or give them game tips. Then the compliments start. You're really good at this. You're so smart. You're my favorite person to talk to. And then comes the secrets. Don't tell your parents we talk so much. They wouldn't understand what we have. If you tell anyone, they'll take your tablet away. So let's just keep this between us. Look, I know this is a lot, but spotting even one of these signs that I'm about to tell you could make all the difference. So let's talk about those signs. The first is a change in how your child uses that device. If your child suddenly starts turning their screen away from you, closing tabs quickly, or gets jumpy when you walk by, pay attention. If they've added new passwords or don't want to tell you who they've been talking to, that could also be a red flag. Kids this age don't naturally get secretive unless they're told to, or taught that something needs to be hidden. Another sign is a sudden change in behavior or their mood. Your child may seem withdrawn, unusually quiet, anxious, or even defensive. Grooming affects their emotional world. They may feel confused about what's happening or scared that they're going to get into trouble. Some kids even start to seem angry at their parents, and that's often because a predator taught them to, and they taught them to believe that their parent is the enemy who just simply won't understand. Watch for mentions of a new friend they don't want to talk about. If your child refers to someone vague like a friend from a game and avoids specifics, or if they say, you don't know them, and won't elaborate, that's worth looking into. Predators rarely use their real identity. They pretend to be kids too, sometimes even stealing photos or videos from real kids online to create a believable persona. One subtle but a very serious sign is your child receiving things that they didn't get from you. That could be game currency like Robux, a digital gift card, or even a code for a new skin or pet in a game. These might seem really small, but they're a grooming tactic, and it builds loyalty, debt, and secrecy. A child might think, they're really, really nice to me, or I owe them, or worse, they're the only one who understands me, which is a predator's goal. And then another sign to watch out for is late night activity. Groomers often reach out to kids during hours when a child is unsupervised, which would be at night. If your child starts staying up later, seems overly tired, or checks their device obsessively in the morning, take note. Predators know that at night kids are alone in their rooms, and many kids are too tired or too scared to tell you what's really going on. And finally, if your child suddenly wants a lot more privacy, like they close their door more, they use headphones all the time, or become territorial over the device, that can be normal as a kid grows, but in younger children, especially if this is a sudden change, it can be a signal that something else is going on. Like I said, this is a lot, and you don't need to memorize all this. Just be aware and pay attention. It's a powerful step. If you're seeing any of these signs, don't panic, don't accuse, don't yell. You haven't failed, and your child is not ruined. You still have time, you still have influence, and most importantly, you still have the ability to be the person your child turns to instead of hides from. So you can start by staying calm. You can say something like, hey, I noticed you've been chatting with someone new in that game, and can you tell me about them? Or I saw you got some Robux. Did someone send that to you? Be open and be curious. Like one mom, who I spoke to, and she started with a conversation by simply sitting down next to her daughter and saying, hey, I've been learning more about online games, and I know sometimes people say weird things, and if anyone ever has, I want to know so I can help. That general approach, it made all the difference. Her daughter opened up about a month-long interaction with someone she hadn't met in real life. The goal isn't to trap your kid. It's to understand what's going on without making them shut down. So give your child a way out. If they've been keeping secrets because they're scared or ashamed, let them know it's safe to tell you anything. You might say, if anyone ever makes you feel weird or tells you to keep something from me, I will never be mad at you. I am here to help you and you can always come to me. And document anything that concerns you. Screenshot, usernames, times, anything that might help if law enforcement needs to get involved. And if you're not sure where to turn, you can contact the National Center for Missing Exploited Children. They take these cases very seriously. You can also reach out to school counselors or local law enforcement for help. So that's a lot of information, but what can you do to help protect your child? Let's start with what's right in front of you, their device. Whether it's a phone, tablet, gaming console, or laptop, this is the window predators are trying to climb through. That doesn't mean you need to fear technology. It just means that you need to stay aware. Awareness isn't about being invasive or controlling. It's about being informed, involved, and open. First, you need to know what apps are on their device. Not just the ones that they use every day, but all of them. Especially the ones that might look boring or confusing. If you see an app that looks like a calculator, but they already have a calculator, ask about it. If there's something with a name you don't recognize, look it up. A quick search can tell you if it's used for chatting, sharing media, or even hiding content. Your child, they might roll their eyes, or they might say something like, everyone has it. But that's okay. What matters is that you're present, you're involved, and you're not just handing them the digital keys and hoping for the best. Next, let's take a look at the settings together. Privacy settings, they aren't perfect, but they can go a long way. On social media, make sure their account is private and that only friends can message them. In games, turn off chat features when it's possible. Or at the very least, check who's allowed to interact with them. Many games and platforms default to everyone, which means strangers can reach out to them instantly. Parental controls can help too. Yes, kids are clever and they might try to work around them, but controls aren't about creating an impenetrable wall. They're about opening up a conversation and establishing expectations. You can set time limits, block certain types of content, or get reports about what they're using the most. You can even set it up so purchasing and app downloads require approval. And now let's talk about where and how they're using those devices. If your child always plays or scrolls in their bedroom with the door closed and with their headphones on, that's really a red flag. Not because you don't trust them, but because no one is meant to be navigating the internet at that age alone. Keep screens in shared spaces when you can, like in the kitchen, living room, or wherever you naturally spend time together. When you're around, your child is more likely to pause before engaging in something risky or inappropriate. And if they do run into something harmful, you'll be there to catch it sooner. It also really helps to normalize reporting. Talk about how it's okay to block someone, how to report messages or content, and how sometimes even grown-ups, even trusted ones, do bad things online. That's a really hard truth, but it's an important one. When kids understand that adults can be dangerous too, they're less likely to fall into the trap of blind obedience or false trust. Most importantly, let your child know that they can come to you with anything at all. Remind them regularly. If someone ever says something weird or scary or tells you to keep a secret, you can always tell me. I won't be mad, I won't take away your advice, and we'll figure this out together. And you need to really mean it. Even if you're shocked or upset or scared, your reaction will set the tone for whether they feel safe telling you the next time. Because at the end of the day, the greatest defense your child has isn't a setting, it isn't a control, it isn't even a lock screen. It's you. It's your voice in their head when something feels wrong. It's the safety they feel when they know that they're not alone. It's the connection you've built brick by brick with trust, time, and attention. Your child, they don't need perfection. They just need presence. And you're already doing that by being here. I know this topic is really heavy. It's heartbreaking and it's really scary. But I also want you to feel empowered, not helpless. Because just by watching this video, you're showing up, you're learning, you're refusing to look away. And that matters more than you know. And for more tools and guidance, I wrote the Internet Safety Guidebook, Protecting Kids in Digital Age, to help parents like you navigate these conversations. It's full of practical steps, language to use your kids, and real-world insight into what's happening online today. The link is in the description below. And if this video helped you, please stay connected. I post videos like this throughout the week to keep you informed and supported. So hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to click the notification bell so you never miss when I post. And if you know another parent or caregiver that could use this information, please share it with them. You never know who might be silently worried, unsure of what to say, or feeling completely alone in this. Sharing could be the lifeline that another family needs. Thanks for watching. I'm Alicia Kozak. Stay safe, stay vigilant, and I'll see you in the next video.